What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Just a Norm. I'm back with another tutorial for Just the Art. So I decided to go and make this logo, and what I did first is I had to sketch it out on a piece of paper. I took a picture of it, brought it into Adobe Illustrator, placed it on my canvas, and I started off with making a circle around it. You know, not quite a perfect circle. I'm using a graphics art tablet, the Vike A50. I've been using it for a while. And if you want to get that calligraphy pressurized brush tool, then you definitely can do that. And if you're not sure how to do that, hit me up in the comments below and let me know, if you need help with setting up that pressurized brush. Once you do that, I'm just going through and I'm had to make sure I save it. And I'm just drawing these little squiggly lines, and my idea is that I kind of want this to be representing paint or representing art. So later on, I'm gonna spend some more time with it. Notice that some of my lines are not quite perfect, but the good thing about the digital art is that you can format and shape it how you want. For my letters on Just, I try to make sure that I keep it pretty much similar to what I had on the sketch, because I don't want to deviate away from the sketch. I just want to make it look a little bit more perfect, or close to perfect anyway. So if you press the A key, it allows you to do the direct selection, and then you can go ahead and like adjust those lines as you need it, move them where you want to. This is a really cool process. And I haven't really done a logo for my channel, so I wanted to go ahead and do one. I might go ahead and do one for my Just a Norm channel as well. If you haven't checked out my Just a Norm, that's my music channel, where I do music tutorials and music performances and things like that, etc. Definitely give it a check out. So I'm just going through and I'm getting these letters in. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes to do this whole entire thing, and it wasn't that it took so long to do, it was just that for the fact that I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I would try something, I didn't like the way it looked, and I just kept tweaking and doing different things. If you can appreciate art tutorials just like this, definitely subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Well, let's get back into it. So I'm drawing my A, and this is like, it was pretty fun to work on, just taking my time doing this thing, because I haven't really made a logo yet. So one of the things that I noticed is that, I was trying to stretch this T. I wanted to copy the one that I had before because I liked the way it looked, but I had merged it first, and so I had to go back and I said, let me see if I can fix it. But I said, you know what, forget it. I unmerged. And then I was able to kind of stretch those points to where I need them, versus trying to redraw the whole entire thing, because I wanted it to look, at least those two letters, to look similar to each other. So that's the cool thing about being able to copy and paste. You just seen me trying to get some of these lines, and some of those lines I end up deleting because I was like, I don't even know why they had them there in the first place. But it's really cool when you can move these things around and really form something, And this T is very crooked, but I decided to keep it that way because, it's like letting me know that this is just the art. It's my art channel, but it's not perfect, and the letters are not perfect. They're not symmetrical. And that's the way art should be. I mean, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. It can be whatever you want it to be. So, I encourage you all to just stick true to what you desire to do. I started off doing this little squiggly line, but I really didn't care for it. So then I started thinking, hey, what if it's like I'm holding the art on a platter? So I wanted like this gold platter, but it didn't start off like this. One part got cropped, so I apologize for that. I get into the process of recording and I forget to press record. So basically what I did was I drew the squiggly line all the way through, and then I copied that and then I reflected it. So I basically did a 180-degree reflection. I think that's correct. And then I put it together, and I had to, kind of change the lines a little bit to make sure everything worked. But it made like this platter, and I said, oh, cool. It's like I'm serving art. It's just the art. Just like my name is Just a Norm. So I'm just serving the art, to the population. So it's on a platter. I decided to go with this blue, background first, but this is where I start to have a lot of creative discrepancies, like what I wanted to do, which way I wanted to go. And I made some mistakes, and that is what caused me to not finish in the time that I wanted to, because I could have finished a lot quicker. This A that I drew, I forgot to close my lines off. So make sure that you're always closing your lines off. A good thing to do is to take off, all of your layers except for your sketch or except for your line work, and zoom all the way in, because it'll save you so much trouble. So I had to redraw that A again. or reshade it rather. Good thing I can use a pencil tool and fill it in. So I'm going with these colors, and you see me adjusting the gradients, just trying to get this, going from white all the way to black, like all the colors in between. And here's the A that I was talking about that I had to color. I was trying to use the pencil tool at first, and I was like, nah, I don't really like that. So sometimes it's just easy to use the pencil. I was using the pen tool, but I was trying to use the pencil tool. I apologize. I am talking so much on this. So I was going with this idea that I was going to have this earth, kind of like an earth, like this circle was going to start from this light blue, and then it was going to shade darker as it goes around. But there was a problem with the way that I did my line work that really affected, because then it started coloring in my letters, because originally I didn't have my line work black. So once again, if you're going to use any black, make sure you put it in your line work. That will save you so much trouble. That way I wouldn't have to color the black in. It would already be black. So every time I kept trying to add colors, it would mess it up. So at first I had these lines, and I said, okay, it's going to be like this. And it's almost like it's like a globe. It looks like a beach ball. It looks like a basketball. I'm not quite sure what it looks like. But I was going with all these ideas, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe that'll work. But then I was like, at the end I ended up changing it. I didn't like it. And it was mainly because I couldn't get my letters to stay black. It's like every time I put color on top of it, they would not stay black. They kept going blue or whatever color I was trying to do. So I just said, forget it. I'll leave my letters straight black, and I won't worry about shading the background. I just did something totally different with it. So here's a process of me trying to go through, and I'm going to change each of these colors. And now you can see when I add, it's sitting on top of the main picture, and I didn't want that. So I try to use the opacity to try to drop it and make it kind of blend in a little bit, but I really didn't like that. I still didn't like it. So then I said, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I color the whole thing in, and then I can change it around. But now you see what it does to my letters. It's taking my letters out. Now they look straight clear, and they're colorful behind, and I don't want that. I want the straight black to still be there. So there was another way I could have went about doing this, but that's the good thing about artists being able to make mistakes, and then noticing that, sometimes things may not turn out the way that you want them to turn out. Maybe they'll turn out better, and maybe it might not be as good as you want it to be for that particular time, but it's a learning curve. It's all about, learning stuff. So here I am saying, okay, well, maybe I can do these little extra shades, but it still doesn't work, because I'm still figuring out, like, what is going on? Why is this black not working? And then I remembered, that's why. Because my line work is my very top layer, and I did not shade in the letters. So they're just an outline. I just used the stroke versus using the fill. So I should have used the fill of black. So, but it's all good. So I'm just sticking with these colors, and I'm going through, and now I'm going to add this little shine using the gradient tool to kind of make it look, this is a simple way that you can make it look more like it's metallic versus trying to add 3 or 4 different shades. Just do something real quick, create you a little gradient, put a little white in the middle, and put your gold on the other sides, and then you're fine. You can go with that and adjust it to make it look the way you want it to look. I think I'm going through now, and I was like, at first I was like, I'm going to change the letters, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. So here I am. I changed the pen a little bit to make it look different shade. And I drew these little lines because to represent kind of like my pen, the pen that I use, or a stylus that I use for my graphics tablet, looks similar to that. And there we are. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Take care.